So I kind of forgot that Q&As were a thing. I haven't done one in a while. So I asked you guys for questions, you guys sent them in. Let's go and get into it. Do you think AirPods Pro are the best among its category? Yes, I do. And it really comes down to one thing, it's the carrying case. Yes, other headphones might sound better, they might have better noise cancellation, but the fact that the case on the AirPods Pro is so small and it fits in my pocket, just like the old ones did, is a big deal. Like take the Sony headphones, which have the name that nobody can remember. Those are great headphones and are a great wireless option, but the case is so big that I can't keep it in my pocket, and if I'm going to keep it in my backpack, which is fine, I might as well just use my over-ear headphones, which fit in my backpack just as easily. The point of AirPods, in my opinion, are the convenience, and being able to just always have them with me in my pocket is a game changer. And it's why AirPods are what I use most of the time, even though, yeah, they don't sound quite as good as over-the-ear headphones or even some in-ears. Like, they're just more convenient. But I do think AirPods Pro noise cancellation is very good. When I first got them the first day, I was like, you know, it's good, it's fine, but I wasn't really impressed. But as time has gone on and I've used them in different situations, I've realized that they're actually very good. They're pretty comparable with a lot of other noise canceling headphones. So really overall, like if I had to recommend someone to just go get headphones, AirPods or AirPods Pro are still the ones that I'm gonna recommend, even if you're on Android. Best decoration props you recommend. So this is actually a tough one because finding props is probably one of the hardest things to do. One of my tips I have though is, you know, you think you're working in an office or something, right? You go to the office section of a store and look for something there. Don't do that, go somewhere else. I find the kitchen aisle or kitchen section, whichever you choose, is often the best place to find something. That's where I find a lot of my surfaces or a lot of my textures. Like most of the stuff is just serving trays and you wouldn't know it when it's actually in the image, but I find a lot of that stuff in the kitchen section. And if you're in the US, actually one of my favorite places lately is Target. That's where this green plant is from, and actually a couple other things on that shelf. But yeah, you just kind of have to keep your eye out, and you're not necessarily gonna buy everything all at once, but when you see something, get it, and you just kind of add to your collection. But it is very hard. What piece of tech were you hyped about that was your biggest disappointment of 2019? I'm gonna combine that with another question, which is, am I switching to the Fuji XT3? And let's just say no. And the Fuji was probably my biggest disappointment because it was so hyped. Everyone seems to love it so much. And then I got it and I was just kind of meh about it. Like, yeah, it's great for photos, but I shoot everything in RAW, so like it didn't do anything really better than any other camera. And then on the video side, while it did have features that I was looking for, like 4K 60, which is a big one, and a really clean looking image, it just felt very, very digital to me. I just didn't like the way it looked. It looked like I was filming on a really good phone camera instead of a like cinema type camera. And I think that's not even the fault of the XT3. I think it's just that I'm used to something like the Blackmagic camera. I'm just used to what this picture looks like. So when I compare it to something that's very digital, very sharp, and does technically look very good, I just didn't like it. I enjoyed it for the time. I love the way it looks. I think it's a cool piece of kit and it's a good camera. It just wasn't for me. What's the most underrated piece of kit related to cinematography that you own? This one I had to think about for a little while, but it is staring me right in the face. You can't see it, but here, let's fix that. So this is a monitor, and it seems so simple, but this is a game changer. The fact that I have a 32-inch monitor here that I can just see everything and I don't have to squint or really focus on a tiny little monitor, it's just a big deal. I have monitors like the Atomos Ninja 5, which are great when you're out and about, but when you're actually in a studio setting like this, or just my room, it makes a big difference. And when I'm doing stuff like top down, or just the fact that I don't have to squint, it's a game changer and I can't go without this. Case on a phone or caseless? Well, it really just depends on what kind of mood I'm in and what I'm doing. So normally for day to day, I pretty much am caseless, but if I feel like I need a case for whatever reason, I do put on the Apple leather case, which I like a lot. I always get this saddle brown color with every iPhone I get. It's just kind of my default case. But if I'm going somewhere that is a little more rugged, or I think there's a chance I might actually drop my phone, or if I'm going to like the beach or something, just somewhere where I want a little bit more protection, I've actually been using this from Urban Armor Gear. It is their thinnest case, I think, and I actually just like the way it looks and the way it feels. I think it has a nice rugged look to it, and it actually works as a really good case. So yeah, those are pretty much my only options right now. With the release of Disney Plus, how many subscriptions do you have? All right, let's see. Disney Plus, obviously. Apple TV Plus. I have Netflix, of course. Hulu. HBO? I think I still have HBO. But other than that, I think that's it. I'm sure I'm missing one, but yeah, 5, I guess that is a lot. That's a lot of money now that I think about it. Do you think the Pixel 3 is better than the Pixel 4? No, not really, but I can see why you might think that. So if you watched my video, which you haven't, I'll link it down below and link it up here. Well, pretty much everything that the Pixel 4 does, either you hate it or you love it. And for me, most of the stuff is stuff that I care about. Face unlock, a good camera, a good screen, those are the things I care about, and the Pixel 4 does that very well. Now, you might want a fingerprint sensor, you might want dual front-facing speakers, you might want the best battery life, which, you know, I want battery life too, but I actually had a pretty decent experience with the Pixel 4 XL. But if those are the things that you're really looking for, well then yeah, the Pixel 3 might actually be a better option. But for the most part, overall, I think the Pixel 4 is still the better buy, especially if you get it on sale, which kind of leads into the next question, which is Black Friday deals. I think that is the best deal right now. Pixel 4 for 200 bucks off, that is a no-brainer. Excited about the iPad Pro 2020 and 16-inch MacBook Pro. Also, are you gonna try the updated Surface laptop? On the Surface laptop, I have it right here. So we did a video over on the John Rettinger channel. I'll leave it linked down below, talking all about this. When we finished that, I kind of wanted to give it a shot, but I haven't even turned it on, so no opinions there. Now on the iPad, actually no, not excited at all because I love this current gen iPad Pro and there's not really anything about it that I can think of to change. But on the 16-inch MacBook Pro that is now out, that is a little bit more enticing. So, Phil of the future here. I have actually used the MacBook Pro since I recorded this video. Now, if you do want to see a full video on the new MacBook Pro, be sure to let me know down below in the comments, see what I can do. But my general thoughts on the new MacBook Pro, basically they seem to have fixed every feature that had an issue at some point in the past. The big one, of course, is the keyboard. It feels very similar now to the Magic Keyboard, which you get with like the iMac, and I think that's a good thing. It works really well. I like the way it feels. But then they also changed some things that I wasn't really expecting. The microphone is great. The speakers are excellent. The best speakers on any laptop by far. And of course, it's thicker and bigger with that bigger 16-inch screen. I didn't really care about the screen that much. I mean, it's nice that it's bigger. If you're wanting a 17-inch, well, there you go. That's about as close as you can get. But the thickness and just bigger size allowed for better thermals and a bigger battery. So that is great. I didn't use it enough to really test all of that. It's a good update, and I think I'll be doing a deeper dive into it. What is some of the objectively bad tech that you still like using? This is a tough one. Objectively is the key word here that I'm having a tough time with. Okay, I think I've got it. Stick with me here. The Apple TV remote. I think most people hate it, and I guess you could say it's objectively bad design, but I actually like it. I like it a lot. I'm really good at using it. I'm fast. I think it works really well. I like it a lot. That's about all I can think of. How do you manage to make everything look clean? That is a very sneaky trick of the camera. So let me show you. So you see here, this is a mess. And then we move over here, more of a mess. And then we move over here, even more of a mess. And we go over here, even more of a mess. But when you look on camera, I can kind of hide all of that. So no matter what shot I'm doing, I clean up whatever the camera sees, and then it's pretty much a mess everywhere else. It's just a trick. And having worked with a lot of other people that make videos like this, it's pretty much how everyone else works too. So if your place looks like a mess, don't feel bad. So that is it for this Q&A. If your question didn't get answered, be sure to stay tuned to all the social media here on YouTube when I ask for questions in the future, and I'll see if I can answer yours.